Got Nintendo says it wants to avoid Switch 2 scalping by making enough to meet demand. Well, good luck. Scalpers are everywhere, man. Especially now with the age of bots, right? They're just gonna get bought up.
Oh, yeah, it's so much worse than it was when I was working at Blockbuster during the Wii era, where the same issue was happening, but now bots.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. We'll see. Chris calling over VGC. In a Q&A during a general meetings of shareholders, the company's execs were asked what measures they were taking to stop reselling of its next console. Given that at last year's meeting, they said they were planning to do so. Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa replied that the company's main plan for combating scalping is to make sure players don't have to turn to resellers because they can just buy a console at retail. We will see.
That is how it usually works.
Right? Furukawa said that as a countermeasure against resale, Nintendo believes that the most important thing to do is to produce sufficient numbers to meet customer demand. Dude, this is something Nintendo doesn't normally do. They actually normally, their plan is to cut it short, so that way it feels like there's been such a high demand that when you do see it, you instantly want to purchase it. Nintendo seems to be now going in the other direction and going, we're just going to flood the market. And that way, when resellers want to buy it too, they can. When consumers want to buy it, they can. And then if scalpers want to jump in, they can as well.
Yeah, Nintendo has been known in the past for doing that planned scarcity. And that doesn't work. Not when it's a Nintendo product like this.
No.
But how many do you think they're going to have to put away in storage? How many do you think they're going to have to send early to stock every store? It's going to be an insane number.
It is. Are you going to be rushing out to buy Switch 2 on day one?
I'm very curious too. I want to, but I really need to see that first lineup first.
Yeah, well,
Metroid
I think
Beyond might be what pushes me to do that.
Fair enough. In addition, the president said Nintendo is also considering whether to take some other measures, quote, taking into account the circumstances in each region, end quote. Really. Furukawa also noted that the semiconductor shortage that affected numerous companies' ability to produce new hardware in recent years is no longer an issue. Quote, last year and the year before, we were unable to produce sufficient quantities of Nintendo Switch hardware due to a shortage of semiconductor components, but this situation has now been resolved, end quote, he explained. Quote, at present, we do not believe that the shortage of components will have a significant impact on the production of the successor model, end quote. Nintendo confirmed in May that it will announce its next console, quote, this fiscal year, end quote, meaning the Switch's successor will be revealed by the end of March of 2025 at the latest, Scott.
Oh, it feels like they're really going to hold out to the very latest moment.
This just brutal.
It's been the longest campaign of teasing an announcement I've ever heard.
Yeah, I just feel like it just keeps dragging and dragging. Like, we know it's coming. Why haven't you shown us something yet? Get us excited. Instead, we got the Nintendo Direct, dude, but which lined up a pretty good 2024 for the Switch. I'll be honest, right?
Oh, it was a great outro for the Switch. Excellent.
Yes,
but we need to know more about what's coming in the future. Do they know what's in the thing yet?
I'm really curious how well it can compete with what we're playing on already with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, right? What kind of quality are we getting? Because we're seeing the lack of quality now go from the current gen consoles down to Switch. Is that going to be resolved, Scott, when we get the Switch 2?
I think it must be in some regard, but it's Nintendo. They're not going to push that technology forward. I think we're going to get something that's equatable to a Series S.
Yeah, you're probably right. At the end of the day, Nintendo has always gone to the beat of their own drum, right? So Nintendo does what Nintendo does, and what they've been doing works, all except for the Wii U. But moving forward, right, dude, the Wii U was just such a unique item that nobody expected, and then nobody wanted, and then we got the
Nintendo.
Switch.
Nintendo rolls those dice every single time with their wacky designs. Even if you just look at the controller. I think, who asked for this? But it takes off more often than it doesn't.
Yeah,
that was a decade ago, the Wii U, but it will stay in Nintendo's future for some time.
How much of an improvement and a change do you think to the console is the Switch 2 versus the Switch 1?
I think it's going to be almost the exact same model, because I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to want to change that mobility. And we're seeing the other companies kind of slowly encroach into that space as well.
Exactly, right? We figure now we have the ROG Ally, we have the Steam Deck, we have the Switch out there, obviously, we have the Logitech device, we have PlayStation Portal. We're just waiting on Xbox to announce their handheld. Like, there's just so many other competitors now. When the Switch came out initially, dude, it was just them. It was them and mobile devices, right? Like, that was it. So for the hardcore gamer to jump off of your phone and get into an actual handheld Nintendo device was incredible. Works really well, but at the same time, you could feel the limitations on it. Where now I think we're at another hardware jump and leap in technology that, dude, the stuff we're pulling off, right? Like, I'm playing through the Logitech device, I'm streaming my Xbox console, right? PlayStation Portal, I'm streaming my PS5. Like, there's just so many ways now to feel like I'm still playing my mainstay games in today's handheld devices. And that's what we need to feel when we're moving over to Switch 2, is we have that same fidelity moving forward. We don't need a Mortal Kombat port to look the way it does on Switch 1. I think moving into Switch 2, that Mortal Kombat 1 port will look like Mortal Kombat 1. At least that's what I'm hoping for, right? We're going to be up hopefully 1080. I don't know if they'll push 4K. We'll see how it goes, but there's a lot of questions I think still when it comes to Switch 2. Is Nintendo ready for Switch 2? I know they're nervous. They've done so well with the Switch. Can they meet the demands and the high expectations moving from Switch to Switch 2, Scott?
Well, that's really going to be the question. Can it meet that demand in terms of what it can do? Because I think numbers wise, they're never going to make enough for the people that want them. I bet you they're going to see the sales continue to just drive for the first several years of the console release.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see. Let us know over on itgtv.com. You excited for the Switch 2?